going for another mission, right? Before you go into your submission. I'm from China. My great grandfather from China. My grandfather from China. But I'm local born.
You born in Malaysia.
Born in Malaysia. I just came back recently from our ancestral village. We found our ancestral home where my great grandfather resided, and we got the almanac of all the family history, all recorded. Very interesting. But I do not know Chinese. My wife knows Chinese, so I'm like called a banana. They call.
I like Chinese.
Learn Chinese. For me to learn Chinese, I find it so difficult. Very difficult. Okay, gentlemen, and very few ladies. Our two ladies missing already. One lady already. Now, I was just having a brief chat with friends just now and your colleagues. I have 4 kids now. When I was working for like 14 years with a company, I left my position as a manager of the plantation because of my 4 children. To spend time with my 4 kids for 14 years when I started my own plantation business. Very tough. But the 14 years I endured with my children were just, I think it's beyond any words to describe. Spending the 14 years with them. They're very close to my wife and me. And I have 4 kids who are very successful. Like from the virtue of the business, we are able to send them overseas to do the degree and masters. My 2 girls, the first 2 girls are actually medical doctors. My other son is a graduate from Cambridge. He did a master's in engineering, or rather nuclear power generation. Selected field to go under the professor. He's now with Shell. And my youngest boy is has a master in law, lawyer. So now I'm more time with my wife going for holidays. Every 2 months we go overseas for a break. China, Vietnam, hopefully one day Pakistan, and even Africa. Particularly, I do a lot of photography. I write poems. Every time I see something interesting about nature, I go back and write poems. I have my own collection of poems. I hope to publish a book on recording of all my thoughts on nature. I've written, I will be writing more on books on leadership. I did my research on plantation leadership. I felt there's not enough books on plantation leadership, so hope to fill the gaps. So I have plenty of time for that. I like to draw, painting, other than writing poetry, right? So my daughter gave me 2 assignments. My eldest and second daughter wants me to do a painting for the living room. So that is my next job that I need to do. It's just part of the hobby. I'm not actually trained as an artist. I'm just born to be able to draw. That's all. You know, quite creative in that sense. Now, looking at what you should do is to prepare yourself for the job market. You need to really seriously look into this perspective. Your self-assessment is crucial every part of your life. In fact, when you started to study, if you are only trained to think like that, many of us will be far more successful than now. But unfortunately, we only start to think about job and your life goals when you're like in university or when you come out to work, right? You never get thought about it. None of our parents have that kind of thought. Our time we were just left to on our own. I remember my early days where most of my time I would be spending my free time over there. The river, we call it the Mangibo River in Johor. That's why I'm a very good swimmer. I'm also a licensed scuba diver, right? I learned to swim very young. Standard 3, I like very 8, 9 years old. I could swim in a 45 feet deep river. Right? I could swim 1 hour non-stop in the Olympic-sized pool, freestyle, run, crawl. So our childhood is different from what you are having now. We are very fortunate, blessed group of youngsters. Our time, my favorite playground is that environment, the river, the jungle. So when I do photography at night, I go into the jungle, I venture in the jungle. I go to the jungle alone, just with the spotlight or the torchlight, with my camera and my flashlight. You can see there, swinging the light in the jungle. I'll be the only single. I'm so used to, accustomed to it. I started doing that when I was in a very tender age. Until today, when I go into the jungle, I'm a different man. My wife very worried that I will be hopping over the logs, jumping into the drain, jumping over there, and she will fall, you'll be in trouble, you'll break your bone. I'm still doing it today. I've been doing it since the childhood day until today. I'm still doing it. Carrying a big lens. The lens itself cost 31,000. The camera was 25,000. I'm chasing after the bird in the jungle. Right? I just enjoy doing it. But at least I now have a companion doing frogging, photograph of frogs at night. My wife follows me. My wife with the spotlight. During the light, okay, left, right, moving higher, a bit, okay. So she's my companion. For wildlife photograph, frogs, snakes. So people think, what are you doing at night? 1 o'clock coming back. Of course, any one of you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Oh, have you seen any of them?
Yes. I don't believe.
You don't believe? Better believe.
But I did not see any ghosts.
I personally have 4 encounters with the.
One is in but I never seen a ghost.
Yes. There was one in the hotel, the Concord Inn next to KIA. I was given the upgraded suite that night. I was sleeping. I could sense like something trying to occupy my side of my bed. My wife was not with me because I was doing a story of a plantation. So they upgraded my room, the suite. I felt uneasy. I have a bit of power from my grandmother. I can sense all these things. I could smell, I can see. So when I opened my eyes, a rigid body with a long hair was standing at the end of my bed. Right? So I opened my eyes, saw, and I couldn't move, I couldn't say anything. So I closed my eyes, open again, still there, Oh, I look like Robin, Long hair, but I couldn't see the face. I tried to look at the face, I couldn't see the face. I could see the hair, the body, but you do not stand like a normal person, right? Like that, rigid. But I know a bit of sutra. I can chant the prayers, Buddhist. So I chant. Open my eyes again, disappear. So morning when I came, left my key with the front there, I said, hey, why you upgraded my room? Haunted like your room? Because we're worried, no, haunted. Yeah, I see there's a lady there who looking at me at night. I tried to ask for the phone contact, no response. So, guess what? I stay one more night to see whether she will come or not. Really, because I have actually gone through this experience from very young. Why I can wander in the jungle, I see the thing, I'm not afraid. I've seen robber lights floating in the room, I'm not afraid. You know? So I so accustomed to it. But big disappointment that night. The ghost didn't come back. Did not come back to see me. So not interested. Because I think was you don't know Hampson enough like Robin. So there's such thing. And I've seen crocodile light floating in my room for 45 minutes in the plantation. Yes. And we have seen the group. From my plantation experience, there was a group of workers who were sent to do some weeding and sledging of the weeds, right? There's a round boulder, a rock. 20 females, suddenly the workers all went berserk. Hysteria, fainted, different behavior. What happened? Suddenly just gone crazy. I was with my friend, I just witnessed the whole thing, we just couldn't do anything. So we had to look for media to help, did the prayer, chant the thing, then brought into a metal dish, brought the spirit to the tree. Then all the ladies all woke up, back to normal. How to explain that? Phenomenon? I've seen all this, How to explain? Science cannot explain. I'm a science student. Can I explain? I think, I don't know how to explain. No physics, no chemistry, drugs, nothing. Normal workers, they just go crazy. Then a group of harvesters suddenly gone mad. the Bomo just took the arm and twisted, the arm became like rubber band. It was so soft, you can bend, can you bend the arm backward like that? Twisted like that? Soft like rubber band like that? No way, right? I saw the thing, my friend like, bro, how come, the two arms became like rubber band. So the spirit went to this harvester, this worker. But when he did the prayer and chanted and everything, then woke up, back to normal, the arm. Couldn't twist away. How do you explain all this? How do you explain all this? Interesting, right? I could smell whether the spirit are next to you or whether on your back. I mean, you feel your back very heavy, right? The spirit can be sitting on your back. So these are true. I've personally seen some of these things. Well, my grandmother used to treat children when they cry non-stop. My grandmother had this skill of saving the baby. I could invest some 0.05% of the skill or the talent. I can conduct prayer without knowing what I'm doing. I can stop it. I also don't understand. So it's given about as you age, your power starts to weaken. But I'm not fearful when I go there and see, okay, ghost. I know, we're so used to it, right? So now, important thing now, your core skill that you have, listing it down is very important. How many of us do it? When I was young, I never knew that this is important, right? Do you list down your core skills that you have today? You don't. Frankly, I think none of you in the room does that, right? But do you realize that you should be listing out your core skill, interest, and area to improve? Area to improve. Do you list down your core skills? Now, not very, right? No. You should start doing it. So that you can improve yourself, you know where your weaknesses, where are your interests, where are the areas you need to reinforce, strengthen, uplift, make it stronger. So that you get a better candidate. Sadly, all of us in the room don't do it. Is it through many years of working experience realize I should have done it if somebody had told me 30, 40 years ago. Nobody had told me that. But it's important everyone you start doing now, listing down all your core skills. What are your things there? You're good in digital design, for example. What other core skills you may have? You may be a good artist, You may be a good guitarist, You're an artist. I paint, but nobody taught me how to paint. I was just born to paint it. I like to paint old building crayon of old buildings. I like to do it. But you ask me where you learn the skill, I don't know what you're talking about. I just know how to do it. I can do acrylic, I can do watercolor. I paint nature. How do you do it? I'm not trained artist, but I just can do it. And I can arrange flowers, flora arrangement. I'm very good at it. Who taught me? Nobody taught me. I just know to do it. I took part in the competition. I won first prize, 2 first prizes. Japanese and contemporary flower arrangement. Hey, I competed against all the florists in Malaysia. How come I came out the first prize? I don't know. There's one in it. It's just creative, right? So you know your area, your core competency, also your weakness. Don't just study. Some of you are very good analytical. Some are good in mathematics. Some are good in oral. Some in audio. Some can be painting. Some can be writing. Know your skill and improve on your skill. Very important. Okay, now, values. What are the things that motivate you most? You run away and I ask you. What motivates you? The value that motivates you most. What motivates you most from your general sort of understanding? Right?
Motivates according to the world.
You are talking about what? What value? Value can be monetary, can be not monetary. What motivates you most? What do you think? What motivates you most? What value motivates you most? You have to know that. What motivates you most?
My parents.
Sorry?
My parents.
What?
Parents.
Sorry?
Parents.
Your parents. No. So from your parents, what value got taught to you?
Like hardworking.
Hardworking can be one of the major attributes to success. Right. I will say that when I was young, I worked very, very hard. When I was a cattle planter, most of the time the off day I work. Why? My immediate superior was very concerned. My superior, who my immediate superior very concerned. He said, "Hey, you shouldn't be working today. It's off day. Where you working? You know?" No. I say I go find and stay at home in the estate, in the plantation. I just want to work. The reason my hidden agenda was to acquire as much knowledge in the shorter time possible. I don't tell people. That was my value. I work very hard. Whether it's a public holiday, Sunday, as long as the operation, I'm there working. When I was tasked to develop a 25,000 acres property, from jungle until full establishment, I worked every day until my GM came in. He chased me out of my plantation. He said, "Get lost." He gave me 2 weeks off, unrecorded off. He gave me like almost 3 months a year. He said, "You can't work like that," because I got so engrossed in the work because I want to do the best. The only value that interests me most is it has to be done the best possible. Besides having a sense of humility, always have a sense of weakness for people. As long as honesty. So push yourself. Until my GM come in there, you go get lost. Chase me out of my own property, which I'm developing. He said, "Go off." He gave me 2 weeks off, take a rest. But that years was grooming years for me there, where I learned, when I perfected some of my weaknesses, some of my skills, some of my competency. Likewise, you should be having that kind of mindset. Hard work won't kill you. Laziness only kill a person through heart attack. Your heart no longer beating slow already. You should be beating like 70, 80 beat, right? When you're lazy, your heart will go to 40, 30, 20, stop already. Hard work will not kill a person. This is where you're going to learn. So have a long-term vision. I just ask you what you want to become in the next 10 years. We will talk about the roadmap, career roadmap. What do you do after you have come out to work? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 15 years. What should you be? 10 years, what you want to become? We will go into that after that. We're asking you, right? Okay. Education. You are studying with your BBA, right? Yeah. Diploma, BBA. No issue. But don't stop at diploma. Don't stop at BBA. Don't stop at MBA. And don't stop at DBA. After your DBA, you can still continue to learn. Continuous learning. Upskill your leadership skill, training skill, your mentorship, your technical skills, a lot to learn. I'm learning every day. I always take pride and enjoy learning every day. Perfect my drawing skill. Now very good because you can go to YouTube, right? How to paint the feather of a bird. For example, you do watercolor, color pencil, right? Acrylic, mixture of paint. How do you do the stroke, different angle, different light shape? How do I learn all this? Common sense. Why can I paint the bird look like a bird? Your bird, when you paint the bird look like a fish, right? Because I never paint a bird before. But if I paint a bird, it look like a bird. But some people paint a bird look like a fish. Right? Because you don't have the skill. Right? Why? For example, when I go out and take a photograph of a mud skipper, I come back, I'm so inspired by the pair of mud skippers swimming in the sea surface by the beach. I come back, I write a poem. I was saying, if give me a phone contact, I send my poem on mud skipper, right? I write a lot of poem on what you call that? Inspired by not only my nature, but also when my former GM very upset about certain issue, need motivation. I don't know why I had somehow got this. I've been encouraged when you have a problem, right? You hire me. I can write a poem and motivate you. You know? And after the meetup, my former GM felt so good, like, you know. And I also improved my writing skill by writing the poem. So send me the thing, I will share with some of my poems there, right? Technical and soft skills, critical here. Right? Because when I do my advisory, today I get requests to help out with turning around the plantation. It's very sad to know that plantation, having staff or planters who no longer have that kind of critical skills that are needed. That are really needed. We lost along the way. Why? Complacency has set in. Complacency has set in. Indonesia overtook us as #1 oil palm producer. as no longer, Malaysia is no longer a cocoa producer, only 20,000. My time, 240,000 hectares. I'm one of the only few qualified cocoa planter in Malaysia because I passed the technical paper, very difficult paper. I got the technical paper on cocoa planting, and I passed. But to pass the paper, 17 of us sat for the paper, I was the only one to go through. 5,000 registered planter under incorporated strategy of planter in Malaysia, only 3% have the professional qualification. Imagine, and I got through during my cadet. Because why? I was motivated by 1 month pay for every paper. Every paper I get through, I get 1 month pay. Will you be motivated?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Money is the biggest motivator.
Every paper I get through, 1 month pay. After you solidify yourself already, you get 1,500 promotion to manager. Why? If you have not gone into this, where will you place yourself? Very handicapped, right? You see your friend getting elevated in the position, you are stuck there. Right? You want to be more dynamic. You must have the poise, you must have the confidence, you must be able to speak with conviction. When people talk to you, no, you mean business. You are in control. You tell them this A means it's A. But some people tell A become B, you know. They get confused, huh? Right? Their level of uncertainty is very detrimental. Very detrimental. You have to be very solid state, strong foundation, strong pillars. Or else you don't have the needed thing that you want. You can see yourself now, I'm so weak. Do not feel weaker when you hear all this. You must push yourself up to be stronger. Stronger. So what do you intend to do after your BBA? Go for your MBA?
Next PM of Malaysia.
Sorry?
Next PM of Malaysia.
SPM?
PM, President.
Next
Yeah.
year.
You go for that. You see,
I'll try.
let me tell you the story about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln come from very poor family. You know how did he study English? Huh? He just picked pieces of paper from the street. Newspaper, pieces of paper. He find one piece of paper with some word, they run under the street light. They try to read the English. Abraham Lincoln. Then he became the lawyer. He became the president. By learning from all the scrap of paper. We today are all given the books, digital computer, Wi-Fi. Abraham Lincoln didn't have all this luxury. Chow Dickens, where did he learn in English? He learned on his own. I always enjoy Chow Dickens' story, literature, the thick books about Victorian England. I read a lot with Oliver Twist, Hard Times, things like that. Have you read the book Hard Times? Have you read Oliver Twist? So these books are fantastic books, right? How can he master the English that the level of English outperform all of us here? On his own, you know, because kind of war, right? Amazing, right?
Yeah.
So these are inspiration that we should be motivated to be even better. We should not stop at what we are. I'm still learning. I learn from my grandma. I learned something from it. I'm so hungry for knowledge every day. Today I learned a few things from my Nigeria friend. I learned from you from you about Pakistan, opportunity business, fantastic opportunity, man. Do not think big, because big is not good enough. Think bigger. Different, huh? Do your teacher teach you to think bigger? Think bigger. Don't stop at 10 students. Look at 100 students, 1,000 students, 2,000 students. Expand your activity by 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold. Remember my story, I started with only 7 acres, right? To 70 times the size. How? Luck, hard work, sweat, and a good companion. Who will check you, I don't need to waste the money, I don't spend. Cannot spend. So today, we are quite okay. Stay humble. Remember, stay humble. Always stay humble. Right? I'm blessed with 4 kids, wonderful children. Did very well. Cost me a bomb. My 4 children cost me 4.4 million for education. Not sponsored by the government. Huh? Mother, father, scholarship. Sorry?
You want to ask some?
Yes. What question do you ask? Please feel free to. Speak louder so that you can share your.
Thinking bigger, like more than a bigger.
Yes.
So then with think bigger, like you are saying, when the expectations, when your expectations doesn't meet reality.
Okay. Okay, correct? Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. Our friend here mentioned that, okay, we think bigger, but you said your expectations do not meet your reality. Have a balance in life.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to make 1 billion US tomorrow. Be realistic to what. Remember, I talked about smart. I just shared with you the smart approach, right? Specific, right? Measurable, achievable, result-oriented, and time-bound, right? So if you think bigger, meaning if you are now having 10 students you're supplying, or you're doing a business or training, you have 10 students. You know that you have opportunity to link up with your network to 100. Why are you looking at 10? Start with 100 first. Then from 100, you link up with some of your friends in training, you go up to 1,000 students. 500, 1,000, 1,005, 2,000. Right? How do, for example, some of the IPO started with only one sundry shop? Speedmart started with one sundry shop. Today, you have more than how many thousand sundry shops? Speedmart. And he's a billionaire. Polio stricken. He's on wheelchair. He's on wheelchair, the owner, but he's a billionaire today. Because he think bigger. He did not think big. He thought, I think I can do bigger. And he went for it. Think along that line. It's always possible. But when you reach a certain level, you cannot be greedy. Huh? Always remember, never be greedy in business. Always trust your partner. Then you prosper together. This is something, a philosophy Chinese always subscribe to. Try not to be greedy. When you reach a certain level, you think that, okay, you are blessed, you think enough is enough. Right? You are very happy, you're very blessed. What we have. Children are healthy, grandchildren I have 2 grandsons. 5 months, 8 months. Is that 5 months, 8 months? 5 months, 8 months. Happiest moment. Now my wife one time got a grandchildren. Husband had to apply for permission. Grandchildren come. But it's such joy to see my 2 children, my grandkids. Oh, fantastic. Right. You want me to show you my grandson? Yeah. And show, I'm so proud of them.
You can also show us your children also.
This is my second grandson. He said his name. 5 months old. Oh, very talkative baby. Okay. Right now. So if you are a grandfather, grandmom, how happiness. What else you want? That's good. Now he's my boss, no? I report to my CEO. So we are waiting today to go, but okay, we are training. Maybe tonight we can see our grandson. So you're still given a priority. So again, I talk about this and your milestone. Always have a mid-term, short-term, long-term goal in your career. I've seen a lot of my friends. Even my class, I was the only one interested in agriculture. Well, when I was in Form 3, I was the only one who did well in agriculture science, always the highest mark. And I like to do gardening in the trout plot, So my teacher noticed me, Jaya Palan, my agriculture teacher, always noticed me. I always see in front. His class, I always see in front. I always get the highest mark for agriculture. Because my interest was in agriculture, partly because I got it in front from my grandmother. I always follow her in the backyard, the garden, doing gardening. If I hold the chanko or the hoe doing weeding or the soil, I don't think any of you can beat me here. I'm very skillful with the chanko. I like to do gardening, planting. At one time I collected a lot of variety of chili from all over the world. I do a lot of crop plots and all the planter. So I always enjoy gardening. So partly it's got in from my grandmother. And I took up agriculture. The other story I'll tell you. My school, when we reach Form 3, boys always have to do agriculture in industrial art. Boys have to do industrial art. Girls do agriculture science. Do you know that I was the only boy who went into the teacher, I want to do agriculture science? My teacher said, no, Chow, you go and do industrial, you're not a girl. I said, sir, no, I'm not interested in industrial art. I want to do agriculture. So my teacher, the form teacher said, no, if you want to do agriculture science, you can see the headmaster. And my headmaster, Cheng, he looked like Pakistani, very fierce guy. But I have the courage to go up. You can see the headmaster, no. That time Form 1, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, to do agriculture science. So I went in. Afternoon, sir. Yes, what do you want? Sir, I want to do agriculture science. He looked at me. What? You should be doing it in industrial. No, sir, I like to do agriculture science. I'm not interested in the industrial. Then he was grinning and smiling away at me. Little do I know that he smiled at me. Okay, I let you do agriculture science. But when I walk in a class of 43 students, I was the only boy in the class. I was the only boy in the class to do agriculture science. The whole Form 1, I was the only boy. So one whole year I was well adored by all the girls. 42 girls looking at me. But that was not the objective. That was not the short-term goal. But because my passion for agriculture. Right? So I became a lovely stop and the school, you know that? But I stood up to it. I was called Alibaba and the 42 girls. Alibaba is a story in Malaysia, right? I was called Alibaba and the 42 girls. I don't give a, I don't care less about what they think about it. I excel in my agriculture science. Then my form teacher realized, oh, this guy is crazy. Nah. He's really crazy about agriculture. And I sit in front of the desk, like you. Yeah. Right? So I became a planter. My whole class of the science class, I was the only planter who went to the plantation. I got those are very good in English, became lawyers, 4 of them became lawyers, some doctors, mostly engineers, a few bankers. I was the only planter. Not blunder, not blunder, planter, P-L-A-N-T-E-R, planter. And I pride in myself being a planter. I think among my class, I was the only one who make it to the group MD level. So I can be pleased about my achievement, right? Despite I was called Alibaba and the 42 girls.
And what about the girls? Do they also become planters?
No, my class is not a preferred job. Because it's so hard. And we are not allowed to wear long pants, short pants with long socks. Wow. Ray-Ban glass. Starman. Jeep. Oh. Stylish. That's why my wife interviewed me. So it was a great inspiration we get from the whites. Because my dad used to bring in hunting every time I see the Guthrie, the Sunderby plantation, the planters come in. Wow. We start long socks, short pants, orang putih, white man. While the driver will take his back to the office. Wow. Every time I see that, how I wish to be there one day. I was so inspired. Wow, to be a planter. Eventually I became one of them. Then I realized, my goodness, the job is so tough. You're inspired to be a planter. It's not easy to be a planter. Everything you have to take care. Right? Everything is under your care. So I've been a planter all my life. Luckily not a blunder along the way, right? Planter all the life. So remember, your networking and mentorship is very important. I just mentioned about it earlier, right? Right? Mentorship. Network. Your business. You have network 50 provinces, your guys there. 50 times 5, 25. 50 times 100, 500. Hey, play with numbers. That's why remember I talk about bigger, huh? Realistic projection. I don't talk about 5 million workers or 5 million students to bring to Mandisa College, right? Realistic. You could probably be looking at 2,000, right? But pace yourself. Be realistic. Your short term is maybe now 100. Mid term maybe 200. Long term maybe eventually 500. Consistently any 500. Possible. Confident I can get it is possible. The milestone not there. Right? Correct. Wow, so much, huh? Now, the other thing you all must look into is your job search and application strategy, very important. See, many of you just apply for a job just like that, right? What are you applying for? Which job? What sector? Who will be your future mentor? Which company? What role are you looking at? What are your capabilities that attached to the job? Are you able to measure that or not? Or you just simply, because Robin applied to this company in UK, I also apply. Follow peer pressure, right? You follow your group. Because you don't have counselors, you don't have guidance, nobody knows what you are doing. So be very sure about your resume, how you link up, how do you optimize the connection. I remember when I finished my Form 6, I did not know where to go. Nobody guided me, not even my teacher. Where should you go? This kind of languages is not discussed. We were lost. Probably I make a better lawyer, right? I thought I have a better flair in English, but nobody guided me. Family background was not able to make sure I continue, right? What are my children? So these are the things you see. You must have a dream company. So I have a dream company. I applied for East Australia company, Danish company. 70 of us went on interview, 2 only successful. I'm one of them. How? I have a dream. I want to be a planter. I want to be like the white man with the long socks. I was the youngest manager there. Faster to be promoted. Why? I worked doubly hard. I pushed myself. I finished my professional exam. Then nobody in the company, only I have it. So they have to promote me, or else I'm going to run to another company. So came to the GM in my house. Don't go anywhere. You'll be a manager. I'm going to promote you. And 1,500 increment. On top of that, new position plus new salary. Oh, my wife was giving me that time. On top of the world, man. Really on top of the world, man. You felt so like, cloud 9, man. Maybe cloud 18 or not cloud 9 or times 2 or. That was so good. So your employer, you must also know, you must know the industry also. Which industry you're looking at. For me, I've been all over plantation already. From the day I was called Alibaba until today. My friend laughed at me. You will laugh at a class today. Alibaba today, you're there already. I say, I never gave up my dream. I never gave up my dream. I dreamt to be a planter one day. I dreamt to lead the plantation company one day. Everything came true. But all came through very, very hard work, determination, perseverance, and your belief and courage. Without that, no way you can make it. How many thousand people in the company? 5,000 planters, how many plantation company? Less than 200. How many CEO? 200. To be make it there, it's a pyramid, and it's also very lonely. It's very lonely to be up there. Even though you have so many staff, it can be very lonely, right? So, okay, now the other thing I want to talk about your metrics and your KPI. Not many of you actually look at it, right? You finish your degree, you thought you're there, right? Do you measure yourself? Do you measure yourself? Where are you today? Your rating. Maybe you get but in the job market, how do you measure yourself? Ayah, terrible, huh? Cannot this, don't have this one, have. By really opening up yourself, every one of you, open up yourself to the matrix and your KPI that you're going to achieve after your study or during your study. Create a milestone for yourself. It is between the boundary of have and have not. You either can make it or you don't make it. If you do not add all this into your KPI, your metric and your KPI in your own qualification, in your own capability, your values, you are actually not going to quantify your outcome. Making it there will be difficult. It's a very tough world there. What is the population of Pakistan? 200 million.
About
200 million.
Yeah, 200 million.
26 million.
Nigeria is 234 million. Right? You're not sure. Nigeria is 234 million. Out of 234 million, how are you going to make it? How are you going to make it? Very hard. Malaysia 33 million. To make it, not many of us. I've seen many of my classmates all there, retired and still like that. Manager lah. They say stop there. Manager, they stop there. Right? After so many years, he stopped at manager. Why are you stopping at manager? Why are you not looking at the MD or director of plantation or director of the company or on the board? Right? Because he has not done all this. No quantified outcome. 234 million Nigeria population. How many can make it to the company then? Top of the leaders, top leaders, for example. I regard myself as one of the senior planters in the industry, right? Where the ministry consult us, when the same we write our thoughts in the editorial, right? The professional magazine journal, and even read our transcripts, it makes sense, right? But sometimes you have to write contribution. I wrote about it. You remember the old friend who died, published in the journal in a poem form. Dr. Suki is a guru of nutrition of plants. So when I write an poem, it is so sad to write every line about him, knowing his contribution to the industry. I can share the poem with you, it's published in the journal. So when I wrote the poem about his contribution after his demise, you can feel how much we miss him. We lost a good scientist. We lost a good scientist. So one by one, my friends are going out. One by one. Bye. Going out. Okay, the other thing that you have to have is your checkpoint. Adaptability checkpoint. Be realistic about your ability. Review your capability, your competency, your qualification. Look at it in the mirror. Can you recognize, oh, this is Charles, Robin, this is Charles, right? Or this is Amir. Review yourself. Are you realistic enough to tell you, do you conduct regular review of yourself? Now you are doing your second year, third year, fourth year. By the time you realize you have to do your master, after your master, what you do? You review yourself, right? And the other thing that you need to do is your work balance, work-life balance, right? I go traveling every 2 months with my wife. Recently, we came back from Yunnan. The other day, we were in Da Nang. Went to Vietnam. We are going back to Vietnam northern side. Want to finish the whole tour of Vietnam. After that, we continue with the China tour, maybe Eastern Europe. Because both of us like to enjoy going visiting museums, ancient village, right? Study architecture. I was in the Paris looking at the art there. I don't know how to come out because the painting is so fantastic. The world, fantastic. Yeah? So have a balanced life, not just work. Balance yourself. Now, what are the steps that graduates can do? Do I apply for internship? I think Nigeria is about internship, right? Choose a good company. Choose the best company. Don't just choose any company. If you think you are in ONG, apply to Shell. Right? Apply to Shell. My son is in Shell. Very difficult to get. He was a graduate of Cambridge with a master in you call it nuclear power generation. So he got a job with Shell. Big bell, but the amount of competency training they provide is fantastic. Training, upskill, and it's real result oriented, very result oriented. Push yourself with that. Some of you may try to apply to O&G company, they give you very good training. O&G, oil and gas, Shell, Mobil, all these companies Petronas. Certification, you just finish your BBA or diploma. Don't stop at that. I continue to do it until I was even not so young. Look young, but not so young. I continue to do. Thankful to Mandisa with IPA and able to provide that kind of more sort of balance in my education and certification. I learned so much during my course of study, the master program, the doctorate program. I learned so much. Did the research on foundation leadership. Opened up my views to a lot of things. So I conduct a lot of talk. Recently, I gave a talk on turnaround management of foundation, right, in one of the East Asia Funding Association, attended by almost like 200 funders, open up their eyes. So attend the workshop. See, sessions like this are useful because you do have some insight you can gather from speaker like me or some of those who are coming to present, right? And get yourself involved in the online present. Don't look at all this gossip. Don't look at Instagram, somebody dancing there, make no sense, right? Instagram, X, I don't know why Elon Musk go and put X, I don't know for what reason, right? I don't have an X account. I don't have an Instagram account. I find that a waste of time. I don't post anything on Facebook, right? I stopped doing it because when I post all my photographs, somebody pinch it and suddenly they become the image there, the cover. I got fed up, blocked all my photograph. Somebody took away my dragonfly, somebody took away, hey, how come you do this kind of thing? Never permission, you ask the permission I can give you. Store my dragonfly photos, and one of my photographs that always appear in the newspaper is a shot that I took for the company annual report. I lying down the road with the fruitless and FFB. Always come in the newspaper time in the spa. Never mention about photo credit. Took from my photo which I entered for the MTOC photography competition. I won the prize. It was published in the copy table book, but they never mention my name. And every time use my photograph. So I never took part after they call me to take part, I don't want to take part. No integrity, huh? Yeah. So okay, I'm going to wrap up my presentation. So as you can see, very simple, right? You is not going to full of your food, and yet you find that how do you make the inroad? Now, either I got you so confused, or you are so determined or motivated to really push for closure of all the gaps that I have revealed to you.
We are motivated.
Motivated. Are you going to jump off the chair? Not jump off the building, jump off the chair? And ready to go.
Yes.
Right? You can see the stairs, so setengah mati or half dead. Yes! Thank you for the session. It was a very inspiring. I met some of you and learned a great deal from your experience, from your country, from your setting, and also from the behavior attribute. I think I hope the session has been fruitful and you're able to capitalize on what has been shared and optimize it to your liking and your benefit. Right? Thank you very much. I have provided my contact. If any of you need to be in touch with me, please send me your email. Okay, Q&A. Any question is one dinner and one breakfast and one lunch.
Let me not have questions.
Okay, please open the floor now. Feel free to ask. Any question? You can email me if you are interested in my poem or you're interested in my sketches or my photography.
I want to ask, how can a personal career roadmap can help the graduate to navigate both like failure and success?
The career roadmap I have, let me see. Did I put in the thing for you? Oh, I think they put up a wrong slide. Just give me a minute. I have a career roadmap. Now, considering the career roadmap, it's important that you are able to carry it out based on the duration. I mean, your short term, first 3 years, where should you be headed? Of course, it's based on different level of different perspective of job. Some of you, for example, you are a businessman, right? You want to measure your success, your roadmap, career roadmap, based on your revenue, or your profit level, or your return on asset, or return on investment, right? Or your total bill or your value of asset. It depends what sort of measure your outcome. So, first thing you drop, what is the duration? First 3 years, 3 to 10 years, 3 to 7 years, 7 to 10 years. Then the first, don't go too far. Don't even talk of 5 years. Just look at the first 3 years. Okay, let's look at the first 3 years. Now, first 3 years, what are the competency level that you should build yourself based on after you graduate? What are the prerequisites that are needed for you to be successful, to achieve your goal? Your roadmap, right? For plantation, very easy, I know exactly what. In fact, I designed a career roadmap, passport, I call it passport, for all my employees, my staff. Everyone have a passport. It's stated very clear. The short term, that means first 3 years, 3 to 7 years, 7 to and beyond. What are the training that you have to go through? What position you must reach in 3 years? So if I look at you, you're already in the 3rd year of service, right? Based on the passport, all clearly defined. You have undergone all the training. You are still an assistant manager, you're not manager. Why? So, then we go to the interview, we check what happened, do your performance appraisal, look at your KPI. So in order to know that, you must have a clear roadmap. List out all your competency. You put okay. But why you are not moving? Integrity issue of the report. Appraisal show that you have an integrity issue. Right? Correct it. But sometimes you actually you can recover by, depending on the company, you 1 month like you declare, oh, I'm really very sorry, I made a mistake. Without intention, I made a mistake. Declare. Then you may give a lifeline to continue your career path. So many of us fail to map out a roadmap for yourself. For example, if you start from now, for example, you know that you can even start mapping yourself. You got 2 more years to go, right? 20, 25, 26, 27. After that, what you want to achieve in the 25, 26, right? You want to finish your degree, right? What are the areas you want to do well? You finish it. So after that, you come to the job market. And then which company you are target? Which are the first 3 dream companies you want to join? Join the best. Remember, the top value is target for excellence. Don't target for mediocrity. Oh, okay, just top company you target the number 11. Why are you looking number 1?
Number 2, number 3. Why are you not looking at 9, 10, 11? Because easier to get in. Easier to get in. But you target the top 3. These are your dream company, right? If I had not planned it the way I planned it, I wouldn't be heading one of the top companies in Asia. Agriculture, plantation land, 365,000 acres property, 100 estates, all over Malaysia, Peninsula, Sabah, Sarawak, distributed all over. But in order to train myself to be ready, I have to upskill my certifications, my skill, my knowledge, my capability, my communication skill, my leadership skill, all come into play. It's a whole package. You can't do it only like 30% of it or 20%, you know. No board of director will, even you cannot survive the interview. They will say, you're not confident, how can you lead my company? Hey, the company, how many $1 billion, you know? How can I put you in charge, man? Cannot. No way. And you make $1 billion profit. Hey, how can I simply put a Tom and Jerry man to manage, man? You know. Sorry. Decision making is daily content. Can you imagine 120 centers? How many problems will come to you every day?
120 centers. More than 200.
Yeah. You have your manager, GM queuing up, waiting to see you, you know, because I was serious. Everybody say a serious problem. Why you come to you? Okay, do like that. I do like that, do like that. Why so easy?
Because you have gone through the
I have made mistake along the way. I learned through mistake. I became a decision maker. When I visit your business unit, first thing I ask, tell me your problem, don't tell me the good news. Tell me your problem. Manager, senior manager, tell me your problem. So I got good news, I don't need your tell me your problem. And give me the request that you need approval now. Now, I approve on the spot. Don't have to send to my office and you tell. On the spot, you give me now, prepare all the total earlier. Oh, I need this. Of course, the format, you know, justification, all that, like finance, all that. On the spot, approve. Go ahead. Decision making become a prize attribute as the effective leader. Because imagine you have a group of 20 managers for the management meeting in the region, and you are in the CEO. I mean, ask me for approval, hesitation, unsure. I need to check. I need to check with Robin. Robin today is on a holiday, just married, went for honeymoon. Cannot tell me what to do. Too late. I have to wait another week. So how? If you have a CEO like that, it is frustration. Decision making in plantation is paramount. I made decisions so fast that even GM also will read. Never let him so fast. Because I know, I visit every centers. 1 year I visit every estate and every meal without fail. I know your problem. That's why you give me a deal, I know, okay, I know, don't need them. I know the cost, I know the level from experience. I know your problem. Know your problem. Any more questions? Yes.
Can you point to specific personal or professional qualities? Can you point specific personal and professional qualities that best represent the human capital?
Human capital. I have actually covered some perspective of it. Let me say vocational qualities. We're talking about vocational qualities. First thing you look at, remember we talk about integrity. But integrity being part of it, your competency level must and capability must meet the expectation. You must meet the expectation. Sorry. I'm on the earpiece. I may be young, actually I'm hearing it. I'm a hearing it. So now, top of the chart, you look at, goes back to your competency level, right? What are the attributes relating to competency? your ability to do the job, your knowledge, right? Your experience, right? So without all this ability, your capability, competency level, your technical skill, your knowledge, and your ability to manage people, you're handicapped. Decision making. So some of these can be only acquired through training, through study, through education, through training, through experience, and also through working in the environment over how many years? Correct or not? Correct. All these are needed, but acquiring this value take time. You cannot rush, you know. Cannot rush. It has taken me 40 over years to come to where I am today. It's not overnight. It's not shortcut. For example, technical skill, for example, making decision, I just explained. Why can you make decisions so precisely, you are sharp, you're able to do it, you get it right. Get it right, very important. Right? But one thing I will tell all of you, do not be afraid to make mistakes. You do not die for making a mistake in any company. I always tell my manager, don't have the fear to make mistake because you make a decision, you make a wrong decision. Nothing wrong with that, provided you're honest about it. Learn from it and become better. I make a lot of mistakes. I remember my early year when I first started, my first 3 years, I was so strict and engrossed into maintaining this discipline. I never was tried in a company, in a plantation. But because of my steadfast integrity, the general manager insisted that I cannot be removed. I continued my employment. 1 whole month of job was suspended. The worker refused to work because I was too strict. We were trained of the Danish way. This was the way I was trained. Of course, over the year, I learned to be a better planter. I became a better manager. But imagine the company can stand by your side and tell you, I don't care. You all can stop 1 month, no work, never mind. But my manager will not leave. How many companies think will do that? Other companies tell you you can pack about the things and you can leave. I say because my business 1 month is how many $1 million? How can you stop work? Right? I was a young, naive planter. I went there, I followed by the book. When it's like that, it's like that. Competency, technical, some of the things I was lacking. I learned and become better. However, ever since I never had a problem with strike. Then the worker respect me. And it's very, very refreshing and very enlightening when you meet some of your co-workers, meet you somewhere in town, you cannot recognize them. They say, Tuan, you remember me? No, sorry. You know, I was the driver, remember? The one, the excavator driver. You were the manager there. That was 28 years ago. I remember you come and approach and send him greetings. So these are the things that you felt good. That despite I made a mistake, I was so strict, but I think it was carried away. I was so young, right? I thought that was the best thing to do, company thing, but strike, man. The workers don't want to work, man, because too strict. He said, I don't want to see the yellow car. Then my boss said, in that case, I asked him to paint red. The yellow car, don't want to see the yellow car. He said, never mind, ask him to paint red. But I came back stronger, I came back wiser, I became more efficient. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that mentorship is a secret weapon to career success, right? So
Mentorship, right?
Yeah, mentorship is a secret weapon to career success.
It's a secret weapon.
Secret weapon to career success.
Very true.
So can you please tell how students can find opportunities or build relationships with their studies?
Mentorship, relationship,
How to find
How to
friends,
build relationships
how to build that network, how to get in relationship.
while studying.
find a mentor.
Yeah.
Find a mentor and how to get a mentorship to help you advance in your career.
And also how to build mentorship relationships while studying.
Relationship with a mentor.
Yes.
This is a very interesting question. Many of us for example, the Malaysian setting, finding a mentor is quite challenging. A lot of senior planters or managers are not prepared to share their knowledge. Selfishness, because they feel that they have this wrong notion that if I share and mentor a person, he's going to replace me. Right?
But actually, shared.
But not necessarily so. It depends the company you're in. It depends the company. I was lucky that I went into a company that I had a few mentors who was prepared to help me, guide me, train me, but very strict. So it also depends how you relate your work to be able to attract a mentor who see the value in you. They're not simple people. Your mentor is not a simple person. He is a gifted person who has the skill, who has the knowledge, who has the expectation from a mentee. So you think you want to get him to be your mentor, you must do something that he feels that it worth his time to mentor you. You cannot just simply think that he's going to mentor you. So you must build up your attribute, your capability, your skills, right? Your value, then you feel that you can attract him to be a mentor. So we start from day one, you are here. Review yourself, look at, examine yourself, critique yourself, ask your friend to critique you, ask Robin to tell you, you're not good enough. You cannot sing the every song. Learn to sing the every song because your mentee very good in every song. Understand your mentor. If you play the guitar, you learn to play guitar. Think like him, act like him, then he will have to like you. That is the art. Thank you. Very dirty. If your mentor do the wrong thing, don't follow the wrong thing. You always do the final touch. One of the reasons why I'm more successful because of that. I get a right vibe. Where, sorry?
So to be successful,
Which point of view will give the most credit?
You can find it.
Yeah, this is my question.
Integrity. Other than your skill sets, paramount top of the chart is integrity. Remember I mentioned about integrity is defined as honesty, right? But are you able to safeguard for the rest of your life while you work until the day you die? That is your core value that you are going to make sure that you're going to protect. It is something that you cannot compromise. That means you are the custodian, you safeguard that as your principle. Your moral principle has to be the top of the chart. Nothing else is more important. If you cannot safeguard your moral principle, you say, I'm honest, but you always compromise on your moral responsibilities. You're finished. You're finished. Whether you want to become a businessman, whether you are head of an organization, whether you run an operation, you're finished. Your moral responsibility from the perspective of integrity or honesty has to be defined. Safeguard it until the most jealously, no matter how. No matter how, you must believe that is the only way you can do. The rest is acquirable. But once you compromise on integrity, you're finished. I mentioned earlier of the presentation, make sure you safeguard it no matter how, forever, ever, until you die. Until you die, in the next world you meet, oh, this guy, safeguard integrity. Moral principle, without fails, integrity. That is the root of that. I owe it to it because of the upbringing from my mother, who tell me, no matter how poor you are, you cannot lie or cheat. Continue with your belief. And by the gambling, I will never be able to strike. My mother never allowed me to gamble. You know, my friends say, oh, this car number 778 never strike. My mother never allowed to gamble. Gamble with your life. Yes.
How to manage the mental stress if you face the losses in business?
How to manage mental stress if you face losses in business?
Oh, I mentioned to you, right? I went through the torture of seeing a drop in the, right? I have to pay the bank 60,000 every month with no income.
Yeah.
How? That build up your mental strength to be stronger and not giving up, but because there's always a solution to a problem. Always a solution to a problem. So I went through the problem with no skill in license trading. What did I look at? I didn't give up. I didn't give up on my ability to run my plantation on my own. No one will help me, huh? No one. 60,000 every month I have to pay the back. How? When Chinese describe cold sweat, at night when you sleep, really cold sweat. You sweat, but end of the month you have to pay 60,000 to the bank, huh? You have no mean, right? No income. Every time of every your hours, you lose $60. So believe in yourself, because look at the solution. What I did was turn to the banker, have the meeting with the banker, honestly tell the banker, I'm in trouble, I need help. Our public bank was kind enough to review my condition. Say, we understand the problem. You interest. I extend it for another 3 years for you. You don't worry.
Yeah.
So from there I recover. But one lesson I learned, never simply spend it during good time. Save or reserve for at least 2 years. Even 18 months I survived it, but I tell myself 2 years or more reserve. So in case everything drop no income, I have 2 years of reserve to see me through in my business. The way I'm still surviving today. Most of my friends lost all the plantation during that bad time. Lost all the plantation. Because interest was 16%. How to pay? My friend came to me, please, you buy my bag, your big part of it, I give them money. I said, I can barely survive it. I can't have, if I take greedy, I got one year, I will be lost already. Right? Never be greedy in business. Be sure about it, but always think of solution. You all went to business school. No, I didn't go to business school. But I felt that I need the banker to come. I went to approach them. Today, the banker became my best good friend. The day he retired, he called me, Charles, today is my retirement day. I'm already retired. Compulsory 60 years retired. But I never failed to do business with public bank because they saved me. I mean, that's the public bank. Yeah? They saved me. I would have lost everything. Everywhere. Yes, 18 months. 18 months. Not easy to survive 18 months.
Yes, it's very tough.
No money, huh?
Yeah.
But when I came back 6 months, 18 months later, very tough. And one day I received from the procedure, the CPR shot up so high, whatever advance I read from them, more than 1 whole month save of FFP. So within the 6 months, I recover everything. I took my money, pay all the loan. 6 months, I pay all the loan. Millions, huh? I need never give up. What do you say? How do you overcome problem? Never give up. But hold on to it. When the price is very, very high, I make so much money. I put all the money, pay all the loan.
So I have a question.
Sorry?
I have a question, sir.
Sorry?
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, what kind of digital skill?
Sorry?
What kind of digital skill?
I didn't get you.
Speak out.
What kind of digital skill? Digital skill.
Did you ask?
What
Digital skill.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Did I learn to help get a better job?
I learned computer on my own. I don't have IT knowledge or what. When I was, remember the East Asian days, we were given computer industry loan. And you know those days when computer we receive was notebook was so heavy, monochrome screen, you put in floppy disk. Have you heard of floppy disk? Our time of floppy disk. IBM, the computer, IBM 80 was like 20,000 one desktop. And the way the speed was going, It is worse than your cell, your cell, what called a cell. What was the computer with the lowest slow moving chip? Slower than that. But the computer, the desktop unit IBM was 20,000. I learned on my own. That time we had to remember the Excel, we have Lotus, we have to know the function key. You never heard of Lotus, right? Obsolete already. And today all Windows based. So what you need now? DOS based. Last time was DOS based. DOS based was clumsy. You have to put a device in, it runs the reading. You never seen before lah. Now you're using Apple, right? So what you needed is that you have moved to the scale. You are AI based now, you know. Now it's very AI based, right? So use AI to the fullest, but use it in a way that it helps you. Not use it to replace what you should be learning. You can sharpen your report by using an AI to do the search and whatnot. But do not be overly dependent on AI. Understand the algorithm, what you're looking at. If you are IT based, even better. But use some of these tools, some of the apps to sharpen what you can do. But you can say your IT knowledge is there, but you do not use it in the right way. Abuse of IT is detrimental. It's not going to help you. But if you know how to use the AI and the computer software or the apps to the fullest, it helps you, right? But I'm not sure how your level of knowledge about your IT. For example, if you actually can get, I would say like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, right? I call DeepSeek is a deep shit, right? Because it doesn't really help you. Because I feel that if I depend on DeepSeek, I'm in deep shit. Because why? You become not competent anymore. So don't have the mistake of depending on IT. You become incompetent. Because if you depend too much on that, or depend on AI, you go to interview physically, or ask you to write a report with a pen, you're finished. But if you use AI or whatever search machine in the right manner to polish your work and learn from that as a skill you acquired, whether you can write a fantastic report, whether you can do a good presentation, that should be the approach. But some of the students even submit the assignment by using AI, you are asking for trouble. Because we can check that you are prepared by AI. There are software can check that your assignment is AI based. 80% AI generated. And you're not going to learn anything, you're just cheating yourself. Right? But you use AI to sharpen what you prepare and you practice what you know, you learn the knowledge. It's going to be a powerful tool, it's going to replace a lot of things. A lot of universities nowadays don't want you to generate your report from computer. They give you a written exam. Please answer the question. Handwritten. A lot of universities are moving into it. No more computer generation assignment. You have to write using your pen. I went through the master program. All have to write in pen. No computer. All handwritten written exam. 3 hours solid. You have to write. They are going back to that. But use AI to really help you to learn. Yeah? But unfortunately, a lot of youngsters find a shortcut. Assignment tomorrow, I have to submit today. Are you AI? Right. Will that answer your question? Any more?
Sir, like HR manager hire and train employee based on the soft skill like adaptability, teamwork.
So, training.
Yes, like HR manager hire and train employee based on the soft skill like adaptability, teamwork, and culture fit instead of just academic qualifications. So how can student learn while he's being in college? Yes, like how can student learn this while being in college?
While in college?
Yes, how the student learn these things?
Well, few perspectives look at it. Immediate will be, now you have got a search machine, right? For example, teamwork. Look into the research paper, journal. People who have done research on teamwork will learn a lot from that. Right? Do research. The HR manager hire train on soft skill like adaptability. Very simple. Hamza, right? Hamza, right? What is needed? Now you have your computer at your disposal, right? Go into journal. Look for search machine. For example, adaptability in employee. You learn everything from them. Buy download books that are free. Like Ocean of PDF, right? You can get all the book free. Ocean of PDF. You can check teamwork, cultural fit. All are best search through research paper, journal. Because these are the ones which are qualified, they do a lot of practice. Before you go into the job market, then you have a good understanding. Other than reading books, right? Other than talking to HR manager, right? But what you actually do read from those research papers are actual reflection of the actual job position or the environment you are going through. For example, if I want to talk about adaptability, right? Do not just look at, for example, a specific job or sector. For example, ONG on adaptability. It will be different from agriculture adaptability. Compare also with HR environment, training, or college, university. Adaptability is different. Different perspective, different area, different environment, different cultural fit. So you have to actually able to have a wide scope of things. So it give you a sound knowledge about adaptability, about teamwork, about cultural fit. Different scenario, different area of work, different sector, different people, different region. Pakistan and Malaysia different because we have a cultural misfit, not a cultural fit. It's a cultural misfit. So we need to understand, and it's very interesting to learn about. For example, I was asking about Nigeria because I come from there. 230 over tribes. You have 500 over languages. Oh my goodness, how to understand 500 languages or 200 over type people? But it's a different, same tribe but different description for the same thing. 500 languages to understand from 200 over tribe. Why do I know there's 235 and 500 languages? Because I read. Because I understand Nigeria. I know there are 235 of 240 million population. And I know it's 2.4 million hectare by farm. And they also plant cocoa and maize, cassava, agricultural base. But they're not moving to oil and gas because Shell is inside Nigeria. And it's a major part close to Cameroon. All through reading, all through research, you need to read. How many books you read in a year? Ask yourself. Are you reading 36 books a year? Or 40 books? Why are you so slow reader? Why are you not reading, for example? Read close to 36 books a year. This is a must. If you are not reading, only looking at media, IT, not good enough. I'm talking about solid reading. Can you finish? Do you read all the Booker Prize winner? Do you? So you're not reading. Have you finished all the series under Sherlock Holmes series? Arthur Conan Doyle. Have you finished all his books? Right. Have you read Cranfield's series? All this. So not everything you have to know. Business, leadership. I read a lot about leadership. Any new book out, I'll be the first to buy. Because I'm keen on leadership. I did the research even on leadership. I read a lot on leadership, other than agriculture. So read, find out. Adaptation, adaptability, all can be found online. Plenty of information. A lot to learn. Teamwork, a lot to learn. I just mentioned to you, a basic thing is that learn to work together. Don't be sharp. Don't be critical about your friend. He has a different capability, you have different capabilities. He has good point, you have good point. He has bad point, you have bad point. But see the good point in him so that you can work better. I see the good point in my manager. I do not see weaknesses in them. I help them to improve their weaknesses, but I want to bring up the good point. So imagine you have one, you have two, you have three, 1, 2, 3 become very strong. But I see only bad point, the whole thing is gone. That is teamwork. Simple definition of teamwork. See the good thing. Then you value your people. And you must have a certain sense of humility. Any more questions?
No.
Oh, lucky, next question I will charge already. Lucky, you read my mind. So thank you very much.
3.5 hours of Q&A and presentation. Now, let me help you to recap. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Chow and Mrs. Chow for your presence here today by traveling 1,008 kilometers to Kuala Lumpur from Sangakan. Thank you for your inspiring speech, good presentation, your role model of being persevered, being humorous, self-disciplined, a hard worker, a scholar, good job and multi-skill learner, resourcefully and highly performance manager through the hard journeys of over 40 years, and a successful leader with only one wife. That's my advice to Amil, Sam, and Rahman. That's why he's so successful. All demonstrated good attributes which are really beneficial to all students from Medisa College in this room. Okay? We hope that you benefit more from the learning today. Thank you very much for your presentation. Without forgetting, let me hand over the certificate of appreciation.
Open this. Yes. Okay, one more time.
If you have any further question, I have provided my email right to me. I'd like to hear from you.
Okay, please wait.